great. Yarok Field. This deck was one of my favorites once upon a time. I think there's a good chance this deck's not good enough the way the format has come. Nexus of Fate was always the Wilderness Reclamation Nexus matchup was always a little bit hard for this. I'm playing some Agonizing Remorse in the main deck to hedge that a little bit. This build of Field of the Dead was always more ideal in formats where aggressive decks were good because we get to be interactive in our deck as opposed to just being a linear ramp deck. And I think there's a good chance the format's come around to a point now where just being a linear ramp deck is strictly better than trying to be interactive with people. Cal Dread, thanks for the 18 months. One thing we had talked about yesterday is there's a new card in M21 that's similar to Unmoored Ego, Necromentia, that doesn't draw them card, but instead makes them zombies. And we can't play this card in this deck without significantly changing the mana base. So, as constructed, there's only 14 black sources in my mana base, so trying to cast Necromentia consistently early is going to be a very real challenge. Realistically, I would need to get probably 3 to 4 more black sources into the mana base, and that would require a pretty significant retool. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on into some matches with this and see how it goes. Why should I be playing Assassin's Trophy rather than Maelstrom Pulse in the main? Please explain. I think there's good arguments to make to play either in the main. I think Maelstrom Pulse has less downside on average. Yeah, normally our deck gets ahead by ramping, and giving them ramp as well tends to not be ideal. While Trophy costs 2 mana and Pulse costs 3, Trophy's generally speaking not a card you want to cast on turn 2. Usually you don't want to cast it until much later. How many Tefris are around? Trophy might as well be a sorcery. Ain't that the God's honest truth? Yeah, an aggro deck. I think the white life gain matchup's pretty okay for Archetype. I think Massacre Worm is a card to hedge the Field Mirrors. There's Field Mirror matches. Field of the Dead's not super popular in this format. A lot of the Field of the Dead decks really struggle in the Nexus of Fate matchup because they're not linear enough to beat it. Stream title. Stream title's updated. Probably need to refresh on your side. It's not updated. Fucking Twitch. Yes, also, suggesting Massacre Worm after talking about how we can't cast a double black spell is pretty peak Twitch chat. I just hit the button a couple of times telling it to update again, so that's probably what made it update. Hey, Nifty, thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Splash for Nif visit. Yep. I agree, Larry. I started playing Magic in 01. And that summarizes my feelings pretty accurately as well. I'm actually going to take the Field of Runes so I can kill this Legion's Landing if it flips over. Probably want to push Blast Zone to 2 next turn. Pridemate's the card I probably really care about. Let's start with this to combine into the Field of the Dead. Yeah, these don't trample, and they don't have a Heliod yet, so it's not like they're lifelinking with them. Although it is worth noting that my opponent is getting, they're getting close to being in range for 4 mana Ajani, which is something I need to worry about. 4 mana Ajani alting is a real concern. Sarah said it's about to be a problem. I have 2 Cavalier of Thorns, so disagree. Hey, I'm just supposed to blow this up. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna do this. I should have done this a little bit ago. Sure. Yeah. Alright. Deal Reno. Well, at least our mistake wasn't punished. I'm excited for the Ajani they're going to draw next turn. Hey, at least this board state's being taken care of digitally. At least I'm not here trying to manage this board state in paper, huh? Glass half full. Yeah, who's excited for this board state on mobile? Please play Yarok next turn for the church. I mean, we want to try and deck ourselves, right? Because if we deck ourselves, we get to fight Nexus of Fate. Celeris, thank you for the 21 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Something about this ain't a scene. It's an arms race, I think, how the lyrics go. Thanks for the biddies, Beetle. Well, that would guarantee I find Nexus of Fate for next turn, right? Our deck only has 11 cards in it. I'm not sure if Nexus of Fate's actually good enough to kill them, though, right? You draw mana, Nexus without mana to cast, so you're gonna deck, right? No, Nexus is an instant for some god-awful reason. Five, 6 mana total here. We unlocked the scroll bar. Yep. Alright, so we have to pay to Johnny for 1 turn. Very next card. Never not the very next card. So if I attack with 26 zombies, they block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So they're getting hit by 19 zombies. 19 zombies is 38 damage. They're gaining 6, 7, 8, going to 75. 75 minus 38 is 45, 37. So if I attack with all of my zombies, my opponent will still be over 35. It can still a Johnny us. So no attacks. Have to fade 4 mana Johnny for 1 turn. Alright, the game is over, my opponent has lost. Get rid of the discard spells, bring in the removal spells. Tram Arch of Orazca. Usually always trim Blast Zone, Field, or Arc, whichever is the worst tier 3 colorless lands post-board. The only reason the triggers were resolving as quickly as they were, Mr. Lifeguard, was because I didn't have any instant speed way to respond to them in my hand. Had I had anything that let me respond there, they would not have been moving as quickly as they did. So the reason why they were going quickly was because I didn't have any responses. Had I had anything that allowed me to respond to those triggers, I would have had to click OK for every single one of them, and it would have been god-awful. Because Magic Arena still doesn't have an auto-yield and always-yield option. Well, I don't want to F6, Erdoz. I want to be able to F6 like passes my turn. I want to be able to like do stuff after the stack resolves. Tarek. I don't know what Tarek does, so I'm gonna go with probably not. Oh, Yarok. I mean, there's this deck. No, I don't think there's any decks other than this that leverage Yarok well. Yarok tends to, and I'm not even sure if this deck is good. I think there's a good chance this deck's just worse than a lot of the other things you can be doing in this format. This deck is basically a more interactive ramp deck, and being interactive doesn't really feel like it gets rewarded in Magic in its current state. I really hate that the opponent can see what you mouse over. It really puts someone who makes content at an extreme disadvantage. I basically have to choose between whether or not... The way the mouse over stuff on this game works, I basically have to choose between whether or not I want to be able to show people at home cards that I'm playing with and against, and giving up information to my opponents. It's a really, really bad design in my opinion. Charizard James, thanks for 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Disfigure is looking pretty awkward here. They're showing cards when mousing over them is one of their stupid attempts to make the game more like paper. Hey, thanks for the tip. Thanks for your entertainment throughout my isolation time. Often came for Magic and stayed for the political rants even as a non-US. I hope the small donation helps mitigate diaper bills. Thanks, I really appreciate it, Hydroformer. Hope you're staying safe out there. This kicking up to an 8-8 here probably means we're dead. I'm just bottoming these, right? I don't need double black for any reason, and we're not triggering Field of the Dead. Just need a removal spell for this. Although that's not bad. This can chump block the Ascendant for a turn and then put a removal spell on top of my deck, in addition to likely finding us Field of the Dead. Feels Magic, man. It's 26 cards into our deck without a Field of the Dead. Yeah, we could have beaten it with a combat trick, but the Johnny's gonna kill us. Mib. Right, well, their start's super slow, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my attack in here. Every point of life we take off of them keeps them away from activating their more powerful cards. That seems good. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, party buzz. Yeah, we're in a good spot here. Wait, did they really not do F&M at home right after a set release? That can't be real, right? Like, that's something that's, like, incredibly stupid enough that, like, even Wizards of the Coast would look at that idea and think that, nah, that's silly. We definitely should have an event for people to do right when people are most excited to play. There's no formal event. Sure. Teferi bounced the event. It's funny because it's true. Fortunate mulligan here. Missing our colors. Easy mulligan. Phased out. Want me to phase you out of time? Alright, what you working with? Oh, they have a Shark Typhoon in their hand, by the way. They introduced a bug in this latest patch where, like, one random card in their hand doesn't stay revealed. So they have Intervention, Shark Typhoon, and one card we don't know. Because why? Why wouldn't that be an issue? Yeah, Matt, right? Like, just like, LOL, what is just like the only, what, I don't understand how it's possible, but like, you know, at this point, I can't. I don't even have the energy to be mad about it, because it's just like, yeah, of course that's a thing, why wouldn't that be a thing? I'm gonna keep that there, because it replaces itself.
I've got time. Stand by and watch. I'll protect you.
There's always a best of 3 historic option. You have to enable advanced play modes. Oh, like, so the problem, Larry, is I can't just scoop to these. If I just scoop to decks like what my opponent is playing, I will spend more time conceding than I will playing Magic right now. This isn't like, you know, atypical. This isn't something that's outside the norm. This is what the format is right now. They banned Winota, and when they banned Winota, they turned this format into standard light. I'm gonna put a Arboreal Grazer on top of my deck here, because a Arboreal Grazer gets to chump block this, and I have Uro to escape next turn. Joke's on you, Hogland! You thought you were gonna get another turn! You thought you were gonna get another turn, Hogland! I should have put the Maelstrom Pulse on top. I missed that it was in there. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. Lol. Lol. Taking another turn in Magic. Lol. What a noob. He thought he was gonna get another turn. It's funny because it's sad. I wish we could, like, I really wish we could, like, spread the good matches out. Because, like, yesterday, we played 2 historic decks, and, like, I feel like I could have tagged either of the decks we played yesterday as deck of the day. And so far today, we're 2 for 2, just, like, kind of getting beat up. Really wish I could, like, intermingle the decks that get beat up and the decks that feel good. Just, like, get one of each every day. Fewer Teferi Reclamation matchups yesterday. Yeah, I think so. I don't, like, anecdotally, I think so. We definitely played a number of good creature matchups yesterday. Yeah, the Rune Terra queue actually has a number of things in it at this point. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things waiting to be played there. We disputed my Uro deal. Hey, Big Z Wine, thanks for the 33 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Trophy always feels so awkward in this matchup. Like, the instant speed is nice, but, like, their deck is really able to leverage the extra mana you're giving them on average. I wholeheartedly agree that Standard was better when Oko was legal. The last time I really enjoyed Standard was when Oko and Field of the Dead were legal. But that also is in part related to the fact that, like, maybe I should keep Maelstrom Pulse there. That's also in part related to the fact that, like, I really like the Temur Oko deck, which that's pretty key to any format in Magic. Like, you like formats where there's decks you enjoy playing. Yeah, Oko and Field were fairly balanced with each other. Big agree. And then at this point, our opponent's really well set up. This game's really kind of highlighted why our archetype's just, like, not really competitive in this type of matchup. They, like, have more than enough interaction and disruption to keep us from meaningfully applying pressure, and then their late game is just better than our late game, is what it comes down to. I'm gonna do one more with this. I might end this one and then do one more Magic deck before we move on to Rune Terra, since both of these first two Magic decks ended up being kind of dumpster fires. Okay, Yorian, another go big deck, another chance to see if we can be competitive against people that are going big, or if our deck's just not good enough anymore. Wanderer, thanks for the donation. I appreciate it. You want to add Braum, Lux, Poros to the queue? Sounds good. I can find a list for that. I appreciate the support. For people, I mentioned this earlier, but I want to mention it so people that are here later see it as well. I updated my schedule. I posted it on Twitter. After talking with my wife and wanting to try some different things, I'm going to try doing daily streams moving forward that are slightly shorter. My plan is to do about 3.5 hours of Magic a day and about an hour and a half of Rune Terra a day. So 2 to 3 Magic decks and 1 Rune Terra deck a day is gonna be my goal. Be live for like 4 to 5 hours a day. Rather than doing like 4 to 5 days where I'm live for 7 to 8 hours, I'm gonna try 7 days where I'm live for 4 to 5 hours and see how that feels. Obviously, things subject to change depending on how it goes over with the family and how I'm feeling, but I think that might be an okay change. fetch a second forest here. I think I just want to kill their field rather than trying to attack their colors here. Huh, you know, that's actually a really interesting thought, Axe. And I hadn't thought about it from that perspective before. Like, we talk about how, you know, we expected play design to impact and improve formats, but the fact that they're pumping out just so much additional product has to mean, like, I feel like they likely are pumping out more product than they added people to help test things. I think it's probably a pretty reasonable observation. They don't really test on standard sets, I thought. Well, so they don't strictly balance non-standard constructed formats, but they do need to balance things like Jumpstart for their limited environments. Yeah, a lot of these products are products designed with the goal of letting you play limited with them. And, like, they definitely devote a lot of time and energy to getting limited, right? To the person earlier that asked why there was Maelstrom Pulse in my main deck over Assassin's Trophy. They tested Modern Horizons, right? God, I hope not. Bajukabog. Bajukabog. They're gonna rebuild pretty quick here. Didn't attack with my 5/6, so it doesn't matter, chat. I wonder if Scape Shift is better versus Nexus for field decks. I don't think so. I think it's still pretty bad against Field of the Dead or Nexus of Fate. Like, needing to untap after you combo is like a pretty big ask. You just don't get another turn. I'm just gonna play Runeterra. I'm pretty done. I'm tired. I'm making mistakes. I'm like mentally checked out of this match. This set sucked. This deck's not very good anymore. It makes me sad. I'm just like, checked out. We're making small mistakes that probably don't matter because our opponent's deck's probably gonna dumpster us anyways. And yeah, just like, I don't really have anything to say about this one. Man, Historic took a turn, notably for the worse with the banning of Winota and the introduction of cards. I don't even know if they're the introduction of cards to play. That's not the right thing to say. Just like the banning of Winota, they basically turned Historic into like a shell of its former self, and they made it the same as Standard. Historic now has all the same problems Standard has, only with a slightly different card pool. It's basically, yeah, this deck, and again, just to highlight concisely why this deck isn't good with how the format's become, is this deck was designed to be good against aggro, And it's not good against aggro anymore, and there's no aggro to be good against really anymore. It's always struggled against the decks that are going bigger and over the top of it, and they just, like, that's most of the format now. Yeah, like, control, ramp, combo, like, it's all just a bunch of that.